Hello friends, this is Cara-Renee with B.Reborn Art and Healing, coming to you with yet some more ephemera making, excuse me, for the Fairy Magic journals. I am wrapping up the initial ephemera making. I'm doing two journals. One is a giveaway and the other is a lap book. And so I've made a lot of ephemera, so I think when I'm getting pretty close to being done doing ephemera. And then we're going to be doing some work on the actual pages before we bind them into the journal, especially the one for the lap book. So I am, again, winding down rather. But I wanted to show you this cute little project that I came up with. So I love using transparencies. And so what I did is I took this pages from the kit, again from the Fairy Tea Party and Fairy Magic kits from My Porch Prints, and I decided I wanted to make a like a full pocket page pocket with a transparency pocket. Now this one actually does have a print on it. I'm hoping that I can show you. It's just a very, very faint, so it's hard to tell. Let's see if I can get something in here that you can see it. So see how it's one of the pages of the kit printed on vellum, but it's not very vibrant just because of what I chose. So, but I wanted to talk with you a little bit about what my thought process was and what I did with my prototype. So this is mixed media paper from my own personal stash. It's a copy of my mixed media paper. So it's got these beautiful roses. In real life, it was 3D textured, or very three-dimensional. But when you take a picture of it, that changes that. But we made this beautiful tag, kind of with a vintage look, and just put a piece of the ephemera with those little slippers on it. I think they're so cool. Fairy tales are more than true. I totally believe that, you guys. Every fiber of my being. So that slides right here into this pocket. And let me give you the dimensions of this one just really quick in case you're interested. This one measures 8 1/4, so that is as tall as my journal pages in the journal. So, and it is 4 1/2 inches wide. The tag itself is obviously slightly narrower at 3 3/4 inches wide and 7 1/2 inches tall. So this is pretty thick trim. I hope you guys can see. It's like beads, but they're all connected, and I thought I've got to use it because I bought it for this journal. So I allow for that bulk in my journals, as I've mentioned time and time again, so I don't worry too much about that. So that slides in here, and you do get a little bit of a hiccup here as we've got some textiles on the bottom of the card, or the bottom of the tag, so that can get hung up, but it's easily fixed. And then I just did a couple of little journal cards again with items from the kits and just embellished them a little bit. This is some other trim that I have that I hope to be using more in the journal once I get the pages sorted and all of that. I haven't done that yet, but this is again a copy of my own mixed media coffee dyed paper. So let's slide that back in. So that's what we're going to make today. So we're going to make, and then a journal card, so that it'll go in the journal and it'll be glued on 3 sides. This side, and the bottom, and then this can slide in. I love really big journaling spaces, so that's going to be perfect. So we're going to do a couple of different things here. So I've got two samples, or two projects here. This is one that will be in line with the one I just did. So I think we'll start with this one, just so you can see how I actually did that. This one's going to be a slightly different variation because I want to make it, be a pocket with some side tucks in it, using vellum and then paper, kind of opposite of each other, and that'll make more sense here in a moment. We're not going to decorate these on camera just because I don't want the video to get too long, and if you want to see how I decorate, you can definitely let me know, but right now I'm just working hard at getting some content on the channel because, as I've mentioned, I'm going out of town, and I don't want to have to get home. I don't want to get home and feel like I need to get in here right away and start doing something, because the weekend it fills me up, but it also is very exhausting. So In case you don't know what I'm talking about, we go to this fishing lake. I've been going, this is my 43rd year. All my kids were born going up there. My grandkids were born going up there. And the very first time I went, I was dating my husband, and I went with his family. So it's really, really cool. And I love to fish. I'm not as tolerant of the cold weather as I used to be, but I do love it. So what we've got here is a little bit better choice for paper and the transparency. So this is going to be the base, and this is going to be the pocket. So look at how much prettier that is. I almost want to do this as one of those side deals. Look, wouldn't that be so pretty? I might change my mind. You know, I can do that if I want to. Let me just see how wide this would be just to capture all those flowers. It would be 5 inches wide. But I think I'm going to stick with my original plan on this, just because I will get all turned around, and that's not a good deal. So I'm going to get my trimmer out here because we're going to need it as well here. So I've just got my little one here. And boy, I'm knocking stuff all over the place. So we're going to start by deciding, oh, and those are the pieces to go inside. Goodness gracious. I didn't even take off the white off these. So give me just a quick second, guys. Goodness gracious. So we're going to go with similar measurements for this piece as well, just again to keep it in line with what we did here. So our pocket itself was 4.5 inches wide, so that's what we're going to do here. So I'm just going to open up my thing here. Let me move the camera up a little bit so you guys can see this a little bit better. I don't think we have to be so close. So 4.5, so I'm just going to line that up with my 4.5 inch mark. And oh, there's plastic on here. I thought I took all that off. Boy, now that's going to bother me, so now I got to take it off. There we go. Okay, so I'm trying to decide. I think I want this side, so I'm going to turn it over so that I can get this side as part of my tag. And I'm finding my 4.5 inch mark. There we go. I'll probably make a tag out of that too, because it's a nice extra piece. And then our pocket was, I should have wrote those down, you guys. Goodness gracious. And then it was, 8.25, so it's the height of the journal. So let's do that. I think I want some words in it, so I think I'm going to cut off of this end. So we wanted 8.25, so I'm going to find that. You guys can't see all this, I apologize. Yeah, there we go. And I did stitch around the other ones. I probably will do that today because I think it's a great look. So that is going to be our base. So then we want to make our pocket 4.5 inches wide as well. And we could actually do, I wonder if we, oh, that is so pretty. Look at that. Oh, you can't see it. Goodness gracious. That's going to be gorgeous. Or should we do this one? Because it's not quite as wide and we can make it a little bit taller. I think I'm going to do that. So we're going to cut this down as well to 4.5. And just a trick about printing on transparency. I tried to do a project where I printed on a bunch of pages on transparency, but I did it on the wrong side because apparently when I slipped the sleeve back into the package, the papers were in there wrong. So you have to kind of experiment, because if you print on the wrong side, it's just going to smear. But this is set. It was set right out of the printer, which told me that I did print on the right side. So that's something to keep in mind in case you ever try to do printing on transparency. So I think I want to take just a smidge off this edge so I don't lose the tip of those flowers. So let me back up a second here. It inks up really nice. When I did this one, I didn't take the time to carefully ink that as much as I could have to make that stand out. So I'm going to be a little bit more cognizant of that here. Come on. I want you off of there. Oh my word, stubborn transparency. Wow. Okay, And now we're going to get our 4.5 inches. So that is 4.5 there. And again, I know you guys can't see all those measurements, but there we go. So, and I also love the idea. I just love this. Look at that, how beautiful that is. So we have to think about how tall we want this pocket to be. I would rather cut a little bit off of the bottom. I don't want the pocket to be too deep because I think it's hard to get things in and out of it, especially because we're dealing with transparency. And I apologize if I keep saying vellum, but, and I think we're gonna go, let's see, let's go 4 inches. 4 inches tall. That's taller than I would normally make a pocket, but that's okay. I know that transparencies, you can run them through your die cut machine, but none of my punches will punch transparencies. So just so you know that. And I put that over there for some reason. So let me get that out of my way. And we're gonna go ahead and, we're gonna ink this up and ink this up. So we're gonna keep this a rectangle shape. You could obviously make this a pocket tag. In fact, why don't we do that, since this is a little bit of a different project? I think we'll just, you know what? Nope. Maybe on the other one we'll do that. Goodness, I am waffling terrible. I am getting ready for my trip, and I am making good progress. So I thought, well, I'll come in here and see if I can get some of these projects that I had planned out on the channel. I also have another Your Creative Studio box. Oh my gosh, you guys, I barely finished the other one, and they loved it so much. They loved the projects that I made because I used a lot of their stuff in the Shabby Travel Journal, and they really were happy with that. And so they said, can we send you another one? And so so they sent me and I said, of course. And then, like, 2 days later, they said, okay, here's the tracking. And when I got home from work that day, it was in my mailbox. So it was weird. I don't know if they just delayed in sending me the tracking, but it was so fast. But it is a flower themed box, and you guys, it is the best one I have gotten so far. So I hope you guys will check that out. It will be on the channel. I'm not sure when. I'm not exactly sure. So that's the way that's going to go. So let's go ahead and ink this up. And I want to show you that it does ink up. I mean, you'd think that it would be tricky, but it's not. It reminds me a lot of vellum. And you can get transparencies for inkjet printers. I've never noticed the difference. Like, I have both. I have some really old transparencies I got from a teacher, and they don't behave any differently than the inkjet ones that I ordered. So there we go. I love that. Look at that. Oh, that is so beautiful. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna tack this down just a little bit. I'm gonna step aside and get on my machine really quick and stitch it, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, so the same thing happened. In my prototype, I went to stitch it, and the machine got all upset. I don't know if it was the transparency or what it was, but oh my goodness, it got really mad, and I had to take it apart, and it was just very upset. But it just got hung up a little bit here, but you can't even really tell. But look at the stitching on that. I love the stitching, and I just love the contrast between the light and then this vintage color. So that is epic. So let's look at what we have for ephemera. So again, this is a page, a coffee dyed paper from my stash, and the only thing I'm going to do on camera with you is just kind of make it the tag shape, and I will stitch around it, and then I will decorate it and show you in the pictures at the end of the video. So you guys can check that out. So I'm just going to cut our little tag shape. And then the other bits are already inked up and ready to go. So you know what, let's see, maybe we'll do something with this so that you guys aren't left hanging out there. Okay, let me grab our little ephemera bit here and just see what we have, if we've got anything that will go with this paper, because as much as I love this paper, unless you kind of just concentrate on the purples in it, it's kind of hard to find an ephemera piece that really goes with it. So let's just peek really quick. This one would be very pretty, but she's a little, oh, but she's not too tall here, but I don't want to cover that completely up. So let's see if we can find another one that's smaller, because I love that little fairy girl. That would be perfect. So give me just a quick second, guys. Actually, that one right there, I'm feeling it. Do you ever just get that impression? I was thinking about this little crown, but I like the little dragon. I love this dragon. So I think we can cut a circle out of this and get our little guy. So let me see if I've got I have to probably reach for my bigger circle punch. Here, just a moment. So I have an oval. So what do you think about an oval? I think we could capture more of our little guy. This is a 3-inch oval punch. So let's see how that would work. We have to go this way. Oh yeah, that would be perfect. Perfecto. So do we want to cat? Yeah, I think I want some of those flowers in there. So let's just line that up a little bit and punch that. I hope you guys don't mind if this is a little bit longer. As always, I hope it goes without saying that anytime my videos are too long, please, please, please feel free to speed me up. I understand that people don't have a ton of time, but my videos have been going traditionally a little bit, that's gorgeous, traditionally a little bit longer than I would have liked. So I think I want to find some kind of textile to put under this really quick. So let's get our little basket out. And some of this is going to be off camera for, oh, this won't really work because it's kind of the wrong colors. I wonder if the green would go okay. What do you think about a little bit of the green? Let's cut some off and showcase that. This is netting that I got from Hobby Lobby. Oh, I kind of like that. Look at that. But we're losing a lot of that, those flowers. I don't want to do that. So they're just too beautiful to cover up. So I'm just looking for another bit of something here. Oh, here's some gold. This would maybe be pretty. I love this lace. But again, well, it's not covering up as much. So I feel pretty good about that. So we've got a little stray a little bit here. I wasn't prepared to embellish, so I'm going to grab my Fabri-Tac and get it ready here. A quick moment. And we're going to go ahead and glue that bit on. And it glues nicely, this transparency. So I'm trying to think if I want it higher. I just love that. Oh, maybe the dragon should kind of go off to the side. Nope. Middle. I know, guys. I'm waffling. Please forgive me. Do you ever have times where you're just like, I just don't know. I'm so undecided. I don't want anything super overwhelming. So let me see if I've got something in here that would work. That is very pretty. Yeah, I think I like that. Okay, let's go ahead and trim that off. I like that choice because I think it will really help this to tie into my tag. Oh, we were not going to put it on here. We were going to decorate the tag. Oh, for pity's sake. Guys, forgive me. We're going to put this on here. So that's not going to really work. Oh my word. Oh my word. I promise you guys I'm not always like this. That's really quite lovely though. Look at that. What do you think of that? Yes. I think that is beautiful. Let's do it. So this is really tricky because it's got very the weave is very strange. And so basically what I've been doing when I use this is I'm just gluing this down onto it and hoping that it's enough to hold that. And I can, at a later time, when I've got a little bit more time, I can also play around with getting some glue under some of the other, those thin lines. So that's what we're going to do today. So let me just set her on there. It is a girl, you know. It's a princess dragon. So, oh, that's not really... Is it holding on? Is it holding on, dragon? Are ya? You know what I could do is I could sew around it. Could do some crazy stitching around it. But then I'd have to reback the tag. So I think that will eventually adhere, so it just has to have time to set. So let me just trim this off. There we go. 25 minutes in. We got a lot to do. Okay. I like that right there. She is beautiful. So let's get a word. I've got my word stuff over here. And just because I've run out of the ones that are already very, very cut and well. Sunshine, freedom, a little flower. That's weird. How about fairy tale? What do you think? Fairy tale. I hope you guys are doing well. I'd love to hear what you guys are doing for the Memorial Day holiday if you're in the United States. I won't be around. I don't have any cell signal or any internet where I'm going, so for 5 days I will be completely disconnected from the world, which is actually a very, very healthy and good thing that I'm looking forward to. So it's going to be great. But I'd love to hear what you guys did for the holiday, if you celebrate it. Love that. Very simple. Simple little dragon princess. And I almost want, you know what? I wonder if we could incorporate this into our, that would be very pretty. Let's use that as part of our tag topper. You can go up like that. It's a little bit thin and whatnot, but that's okay. I love it, and so we're going to do it. I like to just kind of put this up here so that I have kind of a what I call a glue line, so I know how far down this area I need to go with my glue. Did I ink the tag? Yes, I did while I was yammering. So I'm just trying to, I'd like to get these kind of even-ish. So I'm going to grab a paper towel because I do not have one. Oh, I've got a towel though. So I just use that really quick. Just pat that down. My paper towel roll is pretty empty here. I haven't refilled it. So, and we'll put another one on the back side, so that will really stabilize that. So let's go ahead and just trim that off. Might be premature to, oh goodness, we lost that little top. That's okay. That's okay. I love that. I love how it looks really outdoorsy, doesn't it? I'm loving that. This stuff is going to get caught up, so I'm going to have to do something with that. I think when I stitch over that, that will help as well, but we'll have to see when we get there. I'm probably not going to do the stitching on camera or on the video. I'll just do it when I'm done, if that's all right with you guys. So we're going to do the same here. I know about where this goes now because I already did one as far as that depth. And then we're going to try to line this up. I've got a weird bit there, so I'm going to go, oh, there's all of them have a weird bit. Strange. So basically just doing that dealio, and hopefully that's sufficient. And then we'll move on to the last one because I really want to show you that idea There's many variations that can really create some interest in your project by just changing up the same idea into different ways. Oh goodness, that's sometimes I am not very patient about waiting for glue to dry and such. It's okay, it always works out. There we go. So that is our little tag topper, and I love that. It's just enough. I might put a word up there or something, I'm not sure, but I think our little fairy is going to be okay. I will stitch around this off camera, but that's going to stick in here, and that little fairy is going to, that's beautiful. This is going to meet both of my needs. So there we go. So look at that dragon. Looks like it's like hiding in that. Look at that. Oh, wow. I love that. That was not intended at all. Wasn't thinking about that. And then we've got some other journal cards, not that one, but these ones, just that I tried to keep with the tones in that paper, so these will all go inside of the pocket. So I'm not going to do that because I want to make sure that everything has a chance to dry. So I'm going to set that aside, and we're going to move on to this one. And hopefully this won't take us too long. Again, I will not decorate. I want to keep this short. So the idea here is to do a vertical one. So to make a pocket out of the paper. So let me get our paper and show you what I chose. I thought these looked really good together. So it's this paper background with this transparency overlay, and I love how we've got this flower showing, and we've got some leaves and stems and things. I think that's really pretty. So let's go ahead, and we're going to stick with the same measurements, you guys. I should have trimmed these. Goodness gracious, I always trim the white off before I turn the camera on, for Pete's sake. We'll stick with the same measurements anyway, is what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying very well. And we can go ahead and go here and just do this without cutting that edge off. Okay. 4.5. I'm a little buzzed, guys, so if I'm yammering, I do apologize. I'm very excited to get away, but I have to get in here and create because it's my life. It's my joy, so I need to do it. So the idea, and we need to cut it. Yeah, we need to cut it down. So I think we'll cut this one down a little bit further than the 8.25. So how about we go 7.5? I think we'll go 7.5 on that one. So you can change that up however you please. And then, the idea is we will have a vellum pocket that will go on top of this, and then we will have a one of these as well. So that doesn't really go with it, does it? Maybe we'll just layer this one up. Let's see what that looks like. So let's cut this down to the same height, which was, what did I say? Goodness gracious, 7.5. So we're going to trim her up to 7.5, and then we'll figure this out together, since I can't seem to stop waffling. And then I want it to be not as wide as my as the card. So I'm going to go, so if this was 4.5, so I think I'll go 4, I'll go 3.75 with this. We can always trim it more if need be. So we'll do that. And then let me just move that momentarily so we can kind of get a look at what this is looking like. So this I love, because then you can stick things in this way. And generally what I try to do is put, another bit on top. So let's trim this one down and see if we like that. I don't want it to completely spoil what we did here, but we're going to give it a try. I'm going to go really narrow with this pocket, so about about 2.5. We'll try 2.5 and see if that works, and then we can trim more if we need to. And then my memory is so stinking bad. We went 7.5. Yeah, 7.5 inches tall. Usually I write dimensions down because otherwise I get discombobulated, as you're witnessing. So the idea is this would go here, and then we would hole punch that would put a thumb notch on that one and put it there. Do you feel like that takes away? I think this is too thick because I don't want it to really take away from the transparency. I think I keep saying vellum. I apologize, guys. There we go. Ah, come on. The thumb got in the way. There we go. Let's see what we think about that. We could also do a lace pocket, which is another option. So I'm gonna just think about this a moment, because I feel like that's like, what do you do with that? Like, what do you really put in that that's gonna be, worthwhile? I mean, I do kind of like the look of it because I would stitch it all around here. I think we're gonna go with that. I think I like that. So let's ink it up and see if that resonates and feels good. So give me a second. Boy, my ink is juicy right now. I don't know what happened. I haven't re-inked my ink pad, but it's like so dark. Mystery. So here we just have to get these edges here of the transparency. And again, my experience is die cuts will punch through transparency, but my circle punches will not, so I can't do a thumb notch. And then let's do this last piece. Man, that's dark. Magical. So we'll do journal cards and such that it's similar to what we've already done. And that, I just love the stitching, and I love stitching around some of the ephemera, not all of it, but some of it. So I'm going to turn this way. So look at that. Oh my goodness. That is gorgeous. Wow. Okay, so I'm just going to put a little bit of glue. I don't need to put a lot, just here and there, because I just want that transparency to hold until I sew. So, come on. My nemesis. Where's my pen? Just a bit. And I'm not even going to do a solid line here, just kind of scattered there. Okay. We'll put our transparency on. And kind of try to line it up here before I let it set. So that looks pretty darn good. Give it a little bit of a press. Oh, the transparencies are so pretty. Look at that. I love it. I love this idea of the vertical pockets. This one we could actually put a thumb notch in. Let me do that really quick. Let's just do it. Hopefully I can get it. I'm gonna go ahead and make a mark. This is a pretty long piece of paper that I probably will not have very much luck with. Where's my pencil? The pencil. There we go. Let's have a general idea there. I don't want to go too crazy, and I don't want to go too deep either, because that would look weird. Ink that up. I love that. I'm not going to put one there because I don't want to get too close to that edge. So we're going to go ahead and do the same thing here, just a little bit of glue, because I am going to stitch it just a little bit here. And again, it does adhere with just glue. You do not have to stitch. I just love the look of it. And I've been doing it more and more lately, and I'm loving the effect. So sometimes I get lazy with my wanting to sew, but, well, especially because then I sew my finger, and that's not fun. It's mostly better though. I can hardly even feel it. And then these were the bits that were going to go in the pockets of this one. So just so you know. So I think I'm going to go ahead and call it a day here. I am going to probably make a larger tag out of this. So this is another piece of my mixed media coffee dyed paper, and I used a butterfly stencil. Is that just amazing or what? Like, I have to use it because look at the colors, the vibrancy. It's absolutely stunning. So I will be making some journal cards or tags out of that as well. So I will let you go. If you have any questions, please always feel free to ask them in the comments, and I will get back with you. And the supplies will be linked below, or not. So the supplies are listed over on my blog. A link to the blog is in the description box. You can click on there and go over. I do that because I put a lot more photos over on my blog than I put on social media or on YouTube. So, so there we go. Thank you guys so much for stopping by, and I will see you in the next video. Blessings, my friends. Bye-bye.